Alisson Kepa shines at Anfield. Thomas Tuchel continues his impressive form as Chelsea manager. Three legends continue to show us that age is just a number. And Lord Lingard is back. All of that and many more in an action-packed episode of Naija Football Talk. Stay here and we'll be right back. So we're back again for another action-packed episode. Bolu is back again in the studio as usual, and we have a first-timer with us, Moody, making his first appearance on Naija Football Talk. Another deluded Chelsea fan coming on the show. I'm happy to have two deluded Chelsea fans by my side.
It's good to see you again this week, but I noticed since you had your haircut, that's why I've not won a game. What's happening?
Jeez, that was painful, but it's actually the fact.
And I'm the deluded one.
Hey, deluded one.
Well, enjoy your run. So let's move on to the action from the weekend. We saw a very shocking result, Manchester City take on Liverpool. Yeah, we expected that City came in that game as favourites, but a 4-1 victory, and we saw who decided that game. Kepa in disguise for Liverpool. We don't know what he was doing out there, but Alisson Kepa. But this game is more of Guardiola's brilliance. 14 consecutive wins. Guardiola becomes the first manager to do that in 3 different leagues. Also equals a Premier League record that my own very Arsenal with Arsene Wenger did back in 2002. So Bolu, the question is, what has Guardiola been doing right over the past few weeks, considering that as at November they were in 9th place?
The major thing has been the defensive resilience, the newfound defensive resilience, which was brought about by the Ruben Dias-John Stones partnership. But the major change for them was initially when Ruben Dias joined, he was pairing Ruben Dias and Laporte. So when Laporte got injured, that was when John Stones finally had his chance. Apparently, he has become Ruben Dias' perfect partner. So that was the beginning of the whole solidity starting up for City. And they've been without most of the attackers, without Aguero, without Jesus, without KDB recent weeks. But that foundation they built from defending from the back, keeping things tight at the back. If you don't concede, you won't lose the game. That's basics of football. So if you don't concede, you won't lose, and then you can go on with the quality you have. You can go on to win games, and that's why I've seen so many 1-0 wins up until January, where they started winning by more goals now. So we're seeing the actual best City now with their attacking play and all that, then defensive resilience that they didn't have last season.
Okay, and that's true. Just to buttress on what Bolu said, Manchester City have conceded just 14 goals this season. That's the best defensive record, and it was quite poetic that Ruben Dias was the one that caused that error. Maybe he was tired of keeping clean sheets, and he was like, let's just concede this one go. But Moody, away from Manchester City, let's go to Liverpool a bit. As at the end of December, they were probably still top of the league, and we're saying, oh, it's Liverpool's title to defend again. But now they are just becoming a top 4 side, 1 point ahead of Chelsea. What has gone wrong for Klopp in the past few weeks?
Well, I could say a lot of things have gone wrong. You could see in his transfer this January, brought in 2 defenders.
Ben Davies and Kepa.
Nobody knew.
Ben Davies was.
That's the best he can do. You can't buy someone.
So I'm guessing the players that he has been using over time for the past 4 years now, it has started to show and tell on their strength that they can't keep up with that pace.
That consistency.
We're all humans at a point.
Exactly. You can see Arnold at the beginning of the season. They started doing things that way.
Okay, so my question to you is, Liverpool fans are complaining that we are losing games because Van Dijk, Joe Gomez, and all of that are injured, and they have to play Henderson at the back. Do you think injuries have cost Liverpool? They are just not good.
You can say it plays a part, because when they move their midfield essentially to the back. And they have to integrate new midfielders into their system. So the change of system will have affected their attackers already this season. Imagine having Fabinho and Henderson at the back, then you now start putting Thiago, idea in the middle. It can't make a sudden impact into the Premier League like that. It doesn't just work that way.
Considering the well-oiled machine that Klopp has built, they have their own systems, their own mechanisms. When you remove any little details, things change.
Affect the whole
like I always say that Liverpool have one of the best squads, one of the best starting 11s in Europe. But when you look at teams as a whole, all your players, including your bench, that's where Liverpool have a problem. And when you look at Manchester City, they have Mahrez, they have Gundogan, they have Ferran Torres on the bench, they have Rodri, they have Fernandinho. They almost have a backup for each position. Like, do you think they have the best depth in the Premier League?
Certainly, yes. In the last 3-4 years now, definitely Man City.
So, what do you have to say about Alisson? This is someone that we call arguably the best goalkeeper in the world. The only person, the only goalkeeper that can probably rival him is Oblak.
Oblak, right?
Oblak. That's all I can say.
So him and Kepa now, who is
if Man City wants Kepa now, they can. If Liverpool wants Kepa now, they can come and collect, because I don't see the difference between the mistakes that
Kepa is even doing better right now.
Yeah. So when we get back, we'll be talking about how this result could shape or define the Premier League title race. 23 games played so far, and it's perhaps a good time to look at the title race. It's already taking shape, and we can say this is likely how it's going to play out or not. It's been a very peculiar season this time around because a number of clubs have been in first place. I think the stats show that 10 different teams at one point in time, 9 different teams have been first place. Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Aston Villa, Everton, Manchester United. So, I mean, it shows just how tight or how inconsistent teams have been this season. But now the question is, based on the current table, Manchester City are 5 points clear with a game in hand. Have they won this league?
Yeah, I think it's their title to lose, because with the squad depth that they have presently and the players that are performing presently
and the players that could return.
Imagine not having Aguero starting, not having De Bruyne, what people not starting your games, and you are just pumping out goals like this.
But Liverpool, like, we're in this same situation, and now look at them. Don't you think the same thing can happen to Manchester City?
There are two different teams. The quality in Manchester City side, I think, is slightly better than the one at Liverpool. Liverpool's bench, even over other seasons, hasn't been up to standard in terms of City's bench. Yeah. You can't. City has Mahrez on the bench yesterday, and I don't think they used him. They didn't use Mahrez. They didn't use Mahrez last time played Liverpool, and it was catastrophic. 40 round rings around this space.
My question is about one of my favorite teams I like to talk about, Manchester United. Title contenders, we saw their celebrations. We saw their celebrations when they beat Southampton 9-0 and all of that, but they are still, whether you like it or not, they are still in the title race. Yeah. So what do you have to say about Manchester United? How close do you think they can keep this gap with City?
First of all, let me just put it out there. Man, you are not good enough this season to maintain a strong enough title campaign. It's facts. They don't have a championship winning defense. First of all, they don't even know their first attack. They don't have a balanced attack. That any game we play, this is the attack, because they always play their attack based on their opponents. If they're going to defend, they're going to play out, So it's also a title winning squad. I'm sorry.
So you're saying
they can push City for now. They can hold them as pace setters. Try to apply pressure. But then I think Liverpool can get themselves out of their current predicament and go back up the table.
So in other words, so name your top 4 come the end of the season. Your own top 4.
City, Liverpool, Man United, and Chelsea.
What happens to Arsenal, bro?
Who is Arsenal?
What happens?
Where Arsenal right now?
Your top 4.
I think I'll go with my guy over here.
So you're going with him. What happens to?
So Arsenal should not be in discussion for me.
Yeah, they only spent like one game week in the top 4.
That was the first game week, Like let's not go there.
So the title race is looking like it's Manchester City's to lose, but I'll still tell you guys, watch out for the Gunners. Just watch out. You never know. When we're back, we'll be going to the action from other leagues, and we'd like to talk about 3 legends that continue to define the game. We'll be back. So there's a popular saying, age is just a number, and 3 legends in the game continue to tell us why that saying is probably correct. First off, we start with Zlatan Ibrahimovic, and he continues to prove his worth for Ibrahimovic despite his age at 39. I mean, that's just an impressive feat. This weekend he scored his 500th and 501st club career goal. How impressive has this guy been this season, considering that he's leading Milan to a possible title charge?
I've spoken about Ibrahimovic several times this season already.
We've talked about him a lot.
He's simply exceptional. He has, every time he scores, it's most likely always a brace. That's what has impressed me the most. I think he has scored 1 goal in a match only like twice or thrice. Every other goals have been braces. So that's just impressive. And seeing him doing all these things at the 39, you wonder, when is he close to the end? Because you think he can do more, and then you wonder when would it begin to diminish, and you say, okay, Ibrahim's close to the end. Okay,
and he just comes up with that brilliance.
Yeah, it's just wonderful to see him. His finishing masterclass. The first goal was beautiful link up between Rafael Leao and himself. His son, Rafael Leao, is his son in the AC Milan squad. Ibrahim is exceptional. I'm just so happy to see him doing these things at that age.
So another player, you know, one of our 2 goats, Cristiano Ronaldo, he celebrated his birthday in style, and he got a perfect birthday present. He turned 36 on Friday, but he showed no signs of slowing down. He scored a goal against Roma, you know, and there is a brilliant stat that emerged that Ronaldo has scored 300 goals in 326 games after turning 30, compared to 463 goals in 718 games before turning 30. So you can actually argue that Ronaldo turned better with age. So just give us your thoughts on Ronaldo.
Ronaldo is classical. Like, he's a living legend, guy. He's everything a footballer wants to be. Imagine being 30 and you are pumping out goals, you are dishing out the goals, you are leading people to titles. I don't know about this season though, but I'm pretty sure that Ronaldo is going to win something. He has won something already for them.
Yeah, he has won something.
I'm pretty sure he's going to lead them to another title.
Just one last question, Ronaldo is 36 now. How much longer do you see him playing to?
He's in the Serie presently. Ibrahimovic is in the Serie at 39. Ronaldo is going to outdo. I'm pretty sure he's going to outdo Ibrahimovic.
We'll have to say about that. Last but not the least, we have the final GOAT, Lionel Messi. Barca, you know, were trailing, and this guy came from the bench. It took him only about 75 seconds to make his mark on the game, and he scored that goal. Bolu, we've talked about it before, but just briefly tell us how much will Barcelona miss this guy when he's gone?
Everything. Messi is Barcelona. I struggle to imagine a Barcelona without him. Dembele, Griezmann, Coutinho, who else? Trincao, Pedri. Because that extra cutting edge is missing. Messi, he's a world-class goal scorer. He's a world-class creator. He's just everything. It's hard to imagine a Barcelona with that. I guess we just have to wait till next season to see what it look like.
So speaking about legends, we've talked about 3 good legends, but we have one final legend to talk about. When we return, we'll be talking about the true Premier League legend, J Lingz is back.
Lord Lingard.
Stay tuned.
Okay guys, today I'm going to be addressing the Henderson and David De Gea debate. Everyone knows De Gea since the 17-18 season. He hasn't been at his best. It's been a slow and steady decline from him. He's just been making more errors than usual, especially in the 18-19 season. And even this season, he has made a few errors that have led to goals. Like the Sheffield goal from the corner, and 2 of the 3 goals Everton scored last weekend were on him. So I think it might be time for us to maybe look at other options with De Gea, because his position as legend of the club will never be changed, no matter how many errors he makes during games. He has solidified his place as a legend, as a Manchester United legend. That's not in question. But moving forward as a club, the other real options we have are Henderson and Romero. Romero, I feel, is on his way out of the club. Eventually, he's going to move. I don't think he's really going to get a look in anytime soon. While Dane Henderson, he did really well at Sheffield United last season, and he's a really good keeper. It's just this season he made the error against Sheffield United, where he particularly kept them a goal. But he's still a young keeper and he's learning, and he could very well be our number one very soon in the future. And with the way De Gea has been performing recently, I think he definitely deserves a shot. Who Ole is going to go with, I'm not really too sure moving forward, but I think he's going to stick with De Gea and mainly play Henderson as our backup, because De Gea still has this lengthy contract and I'm sure Ole still has faith in him. If De Gea and Henderson should be our keeper moving forward, I'm not really sure if either of them should maybe, I don't know if we should maybe look at options outside the club, but it depends on how much De Henderson improves. I can see him being our long-term keeper, but he has to improve certain aspects of his game because he makes a few errors himself. Who is going to go with? I feel De Gea is going to stick with De Gea and continue to play him, and De Henderson will be the backup.
Who is to blame for J Lingard's career decline? I think United should have tried to get the player out a long time ago, knowing that he was no longer part of the first team plans. They should have, being the academy player, they should have tried to help him for his career. And I think that's a problem that Man United have. They're always trying to get their dead wood out. See, Marcus Rui is just leaving the club after how many years of being a useless player in their squad. And United are fond of keeping unwanted players for too long, and same applied to Lingard. He should have left a long time ago to further his career. But it's good that he's at West Ham now, where he's enjoying himself.
For a good part of his recent decline, I think J Lingard has been the one to blame. Let's face the fact, Manchester United have had better midfielders than him over the past, say, 5 to 6 years. But the problem for him was that he was less focused on his game and he was more involved on off-the-pitch activities like Instagram, TikTok and all of that. But now that he has realized his mistake, he seems more focused and he's enjoying his game at West Ham. I can say to you boldly that this guy will have more goal involvement than Fernandes from now until the end of the season. J Lingz is back and back to stay.
J Lingard, J Lingz, rising talent, rising star for Manchester United, and now see where he is now, West Ham. Well, the blame is to Manchester United, solely on Manchester United. He was their top player at some point, their best player. He had a dip in form and they just lost their trust in him, made him to drop in confidence, and he just was left out of the squad. Now at West Ham, scored 2 goals already, looking like the player he was before. And it's going to show Manchester United what they have missed in him. Forget all those Bruno Fernandes, Wala. This is Messi, Lingard. Thanks.
So we continue the show with another legend, J Lingard, J Lingz, John Lingard himself. So let's move on to, this guy secured a loan move from West Ham to Manchester United. He was always the center of chose while at Man U. J Lingard has not scored a goal in, but in his debut for West Ham, he turned to Messi Lingard, 2 goals. Brilliant goals. He made Martinez look so ordinary.
Martinez turned to Kepa.
Made Martinez look so ordinary, man of the match winning performance and all of that. So I just want to, this guy has been one of the most misunderstood players in the past 2 years. So I just want to ask a few questions on his career progression so far. Looking at J Lingard, he was once a regular in the England setup under Southgate. He played 6 out of 7 games in there, but now he has lost his place. Can you see him regaining his spot back if he keeps up this impressive form? And do you think he can keep up this form?
The first question, if he does something exceptional, he can make it back in the squad.
Yeah.
That's in case of injuries and things like that. In case someone gets injured and they need people in the squad. But getting back in that starting level will be hard because you have players like Jack Grealish. Grealish is just beginning to cement his place in the England first team. Maddison has not even begun that yet. You still have people like Messi Mount who can play in attacking areas. You still have Phil Foden. You still have Rashford. You still have Sterling. You still have Sancho. So much talent that you just think that, okay, maybe Lingard can just fill a squad role in case they need some extra numbers. And the second question is, if he does work and should he return to Man United? I think for his career, it's not a right decision footballing wise, because I think Man U have moved on from Lingard, and the best thing for his career, he's 28 years old now. He's at the peak of his career. He needs to actually be at the peak of his football as well, and he needs to be playing. You can only do that by playing week in, week out, and you can get that at West Ham, a fairly modest club.
So now, J Lingard scored 2 goals on his debut for West Ham. That's more goals than he has scored in the last 18 months with Manchester United. And you agree, after the game, he said he had so much confidence in the fact that Moyes told him before the match that he was going to start. So he was gingered up for that game. Now at Manchester United, he barely made the match team squad. So do you think the idea of confidence, lack of trust from the manager has been one of the reasons that has seen J Lingard underperform in recent times?
Yes, that should be the major reason. He has won 80 minutes already in West Ham shirt, more than he had in the past 18 months with Manchester United. Giving a player time to show what he can do on the pitch will actually help him to improve, and also improve your squad and give you what you want out of the team. So I think the Moyes giving him and boosting him confidence helped him that day to perform. It was a sad one that he didn't get anything against Fulham, the 0-0 draw, but he played a vital role too in that match.
We've come to the end of this episode, and we'll have to say our goodbyes for now. It was an interesting time out in the studio with the guys, and we had fun. We hope you guys did as well. For all our existing subscribers, we just want to hear your comments. We want to hear what you're thinking about the Premier League title race or about Lord Lingard. For our first-time viewers, we have one request of you. Please give us a subscribe. Just click the button right there. Special mention to Top Bet for sponsoring this episode, as they've been doing from the very start. We have to say our goodbyes once again, and it's bye from us at Naija Football Talk. Till we see you next time, next week. Enjoy your week.